right. Good evening, class of 2021. I'm very honored to be chosen as your commencement speaker this evening, but really, to be honest, I think it would have been a little sad if I wasn't chosen, as if I've had some of you for 3 and even 4 years in high school English. For those 2 of you that had me for all 4 years, I'm not sure why Elko let me torture both Harrison and Ethan, but they made it here, so I guess everything worked out. After 4 years of hearing me speak, I'm sure many of you probably don't want to hear my advice. But since I'm here and you're there, let me indulge you with a Mr. Longstaff life lesson just one last time. It is no secret that the last year of our lives has been challenging to say the least. So different from what we are accustomed that many spent the year just waiting for it to end, as if the new year would bring with it some sort of magic to erase the woes that plagued us for what seemed far too long. Sorry, I lost my place. But if you've taken my English class, I did write too small. Mrs. Haas was right, and now hold on, I gotta be. All right, but if you've taken my English class, you know how much I love philosophies of existentialism and the absurd. And just like Vladimir and Estragon in Waiting for Godot, I found most of the world either waiting for a hero to emerge or wishing their life away as if time would magically heal what it did not fracture in the first place. And this is absurd, for we all know that no one is coming. There is no hero save for the one that lives within us. So if I may give you a few pieces of advice tonight in order for your hero to emerge, let it be this: time is all we have. This moment, right now, is all that is guaranteed. According to Eddie Pinero, time is the one thing in our lives that we can never reacquire once it's gone. Thus, we must use it correctly as it contains all the ingredients to success, to growth, to happiness, to prosperity. All the things that we want. But at the same time, if neglected, it leaves us with very little. With this in mind, I implore you, do not ever wish your life away. Too many times, I see students wishing to be older. When you were in middle school, you wished to be teenagers, as if you were going to unlock some secret to adulthood. When you were teenagers, you wished to be high schoolers, as if that step would somehow create a sense in you of power and control over the path you were taking, some enlightened path not filled with just raging hormones. When you entered high school, you wished to be 16 and get your driver's license and experience true freedom for the first time. When you became 16, you wished to be 18, so that you would be considered adults. When you became adults, you wished to graduate and enter the real world, and when you enter the real world, you may wish to complete whatever secondary journey you are on, and so on and so forth. And in all that wishing, there is so much more to be done in terms of living. This concept takes me back to 7 years ago, to the fall of 2014, when I was walking the halls with Mr. Klein, a former math teacher in our district. I made the comment that I couldn't wait for Christmas. My son was 4, and that's a really exciting year for kids and the whole concept of Christmas. But Mr. Klein, after I made that comment, stopped in the hallway, looked at me in the eyes, and said, "I can wait. Everything happens." And though in the above statements I know that one shouldn't wish their time away, and even if this was more small talk than conversation, I was still taken back by the seriousness in his tone and the piercing gaze of his eyes. As we finished walking down the hall and I left to go to my classroom, his words, for whatever reason, kept reverberating within my soul. It was a simple but an honest truth. Everything will happen. There is no need to rush forward headlong into the future, eyes only on a destination not quite ready to take hold, for if you do, you will miss the beauty of the moment around you. I still think of that moment with Mr. Klein, something that he has most likely forgotten, but is beautiful to me. To this end, time, my friends, is life's most precious gift. It is the understanding that I hope to bestow on you tonight. Time is the most valuable gift that you can ever give someone, for it is the one thing you can never get back. This past Monday, we had a family dinner, and my sister-in-law gave us some very saddening news. Her multiple sclerosis had progressed further than she had been letting on. During her last appointment, the doctors noticed a large back lesion forming at the top of her spine where it meets the brain. She's a nurse and has been one for a long time, and knew exactly what that diagnosis meant. It meant that if the medication she ever was on was to fail, the enlarging of the spot would surely kill her. As our eyes filled with tears, I was amazed at her poise and serenity in which she delivered the information. This was the tone of one who was at peace with how she had spent her time, and knew full well how she wanted it to continue. In that moment, I became very grateful for having had the chance to welcome her into our family. Her strength and confidence was amazing, and it drew me to yet another conclusion. Be purposeful with how you spend your time. In that moment, at that dinner, though life had been declared unfair by my family, she was still happy. She was exactly where and with whom she wanted to be. That air of confidence can only come from someone who has lived a life with purpose. Someone who has given their time with meaning and intent. Which leads me to my next piece of advice. Make sure you spend your time on people and things that bring you true happiness. And in order to find those people that make you happy, you must perceive the world from a state of love and happiness yourself. Life, in this regard, is all about perspective. During the lockdown, like most people, I found myself getting irritated at the little everyday mundane things as I felt I was living the same day over and over again. This perspective is why so many people were wishing the year away, and I too found myself in that rut. So I needed a change in perspective. Instead of being angry that there were so many dishes to do, I found myself being grateful that the dishes were dirty because there was good food to cook and serve to my family. Instead of being upset that I was quarantined in my house, I was instead thankful that I had a safe home to spend it in. Instead of complaining about everything being closed and nowhere to go, I became beholden that I had a loving family that wanted to share their time with me. This new perspective allowed me to look for love and joy in the simplest things and to realize the extent to which I have been able to prosper. The people that matter the most to me are those in my family. You are also in my family. This is with whom I wanted to give all of my time. It's amazing that sometimes it takes a pandemic to help put one's life into perspective. The next time you get angered that your parents want to know where you're going and who you're going to be with, instead be enamored with the fact that you have parents that care about your well-being. Instead of getting bothered that your parents ask about your day every evening at the dinner table, be appreciative that your parents are interested in your life. And instead of becoming irritated at your parents for pushing you to work hard, whether it be in school, on the athletic field, in your home, or on the job, find joy in the fact that there are people that have given all of their time to you so that you can be successful. Whether the above applies to your parents, guardians, other family members, my message is the same. These are the people worth spending your time on, for they have spent all of it on you. You are here because of their love. As you continue down your journey of self-discovery, do not be afraid of the obstacles in your way. Because time is so precious, we often forget that the time spent to overcome our struggles are just as valuable as the end of the journey. We live now in a world where the destination seems to outweigh the ride. We all want to be multi-millionaire social media influencers, and we all want it now. But instead of embracing the struggle that helps define who we are, we use people around us to mow down any obstacles in our way. This is the generation of instant gratification to which we have all fallen victim. Because of this need for instant success, we are constantly defining our own success by large-scale monetary gains such as the big house or the fancy car, the six-figure job. We have this mentality that the future is going to somehow mean more than the present. If we suffer now, if we're unhappy now, that we will save the best of our life for some other time. But let me be clear on this. There is no other time. Yes, we should be working hard, but we also shouldn't lose sight of our big goals and dreams just because we don't achieve them right away. I was listening to a podcast by Dr. Andrew Huberman the other day, and he reiterated a lot of things that teachers in this audience already know. If we reward ourselves extrinsically, we lose motivation for large-scale goals when the rewards stop. Basically, if we're not rewarded daily, when we see obstacles that are too hard to conquer, we just give up. We don't want to waste our time without reward. And this is a very terrible mentality to have. It's why so many students see school as nothing more than a way to collect grades and move on. But your time is worth more than just that. School isn't just about grade collection or only teaching how to make money when you're older and in the future, or in order to produce a productive consumer for the real world. It's about what is learned and how it can help you grow and move forward. To help use your time more wisely in all facets of life, Dr. Huberman suggests learning how to control this idea of path, duration, and outcome by rewarding yourself mentally. Just tell yourself each day that you are doing well. This intrinsic motivation will re-energize you when you get stuck. If you make small, achievable goals, you can create an infinite source of energy. To this end, we also have to know that it's the process, not always the end result, that is a precursor for success. We lose our energy and waste our time comparing ourselves and our successes to someone else, which leads me to another piece of advice. No one knows how far you have come, and therefore no one can take away your success. Yet many times we strip down our own achievements when we compare them to someone else's. Just because someone makes more money than you doesn't mean they're better than you. Just because someone has a faster car or a bigger truck does not mean their life is more fulfilling. The purpose in life is not to collect things, but to use your time and experience for feelings. Our best moments are not in how much money we made or how we spent it. The best moments are always about life and how they intersect with our own passions. Life is what matters. Life is what is important. This moment right now is what it's all about. Moments are fleeting. As you leave here, I hope you take the time to appreciate all the things that you accomplished, all the moments that defined your life. Excited as we might be to end history's longest school year, take a moment to smile upon the things that shaped your life here at Elko, such as winning the Ryder Hoffman Cup, becoming district baseball champions, presenting a musical in the midst of a pandemic, forming an esports teams, comeback field hockey wins, or prepping fans through music at numerous winning football games. And I hope you also laugh at the silly moments, like hitting your buddy with a flying hoagie in science class, or convincing a favorite teacher a domino was actually his remote and it wasn't working, or participating in a table tennis tournament with crumpled up essays and iPads in your favorite English teacher's class. As time makes life's memories fade, as it always does, you most likely will not remember this speech, or even that it was me that gave it to you. But what I do want you to remember is that up here, in this moment, you were celebrated. You were loved. This stage, this audience, is filled with people that love and celebrate you, that gave their time to watch and help you grow so that you could emerge from the scholastic cocoon that is Myerstown, Pennsylvania, that has been your life for the last 13 years, ready to lead, ready to live, and ready to love. If you see your time as precious and use it wisely, you will be the only hero you ever need. With that being said, I'd like to leave you with one last charge. I hope that when you look back on life, if you desire a time machine, it is not to go back and change the past or make up for life regrets, but instead to use that time machine to experience your memories of happiness, joy, and love one last time. It has been an honor and a privilege to be part of your life, even for these short moments, and I thank you for that. To the class of 2021, may you forever be the adventurers, unafraid of failure, true to yourself, and appreciative of your time on this earth. Congratulations.